Okay, I don't remember if I touched on this already, but yeah, fuck it, I'm running out of stuff. I've been running out of stuff to do vlogs about, so figured I'd touch on this one, script free this time. And basically, I was watching, well, more like listening to Raging O'Neill while I was on a walk yesterday, and he's talking about localizers, seven C's particularly. This is kind of why I've been hesitant to buy the Jobless Reincarnation manga adaptation, because I like the manga, despite the fact people bitch about it. I actually like it. They say it's not a good adaptation of the light novel, which is somewhat true. But anyway, they actually have a history of doing this. They did this with Jobless Reincarnation and a few other times, but I think that was with the. But I could swear that was with the light novel, not a manga. But yeah, like localizers, you really just like. I find it funny. I will bet you because it turns out some of the people who have been doing all this shit, like these are the same people apparently who ruined comics in America. So they ruined those, and like I've said before, these fuckers never learn their lesson. They just go on and move on to ruin something else that people enjoy to feel good. Like these people are evil in some respects. And I know what you're thinking. Some of you are probably thinking, Nathan, how can you say they're evil? All they're doing is, well, no, they're bastardizing something from another culture. And they're laughing about it, probably. Like, I'll bet you money that these are the same fucking hypocrites who say they hate imperialism, but they act like cultural imperialists. That's actually a term that, was it Shadow Vest? Or Bleeding Shadow? I remember there's this one guy who follows. I sometimes watch him on live streams with Mr. Anime. I think the term he used is cultural imperialists. That's what I also call them, or just imperialists, like hypocritical imperialists. They're doing this to another culture just because they feel like it. They are hypocrites of the highest order, and fascists, depending on how you look at them, because they have a mentality of either you're with me or against me. That sounds like some a fascist would say, or Stalin. Actually, no, scratch it. He doesn't give you the option. He just kills you for like no reason other than he feels like it. And these fuckers probably worship that asshole. But yeah, these localizers, they are supposed to just translate stuff and make it readable for people in the West. They're not just doing that, they're forcing their own bullshit into it. Like the same thing that happened with anime. There was this one thing called Prison School where they mentioned Gamergate. That wasn't there originally. I think the manga or the anime for it in Japan came out before Gamergate was a thing. And or it could just be the fact that Japan doesn't care about politics, they just want something that's going to sell. And Japan has really been rejecting these weirdos on a daily basis. Like I remember Clownfish TV was responding to an article that showed women in Japan are rejecting feminism. I can only say, good for them. Feminism is a cancer. Like it stopped being productive after the suffragettes. Like after they got the right to do as they please, like they have the same rights as a woman. I was fine with that. Like I thought, you know what? Feminism ain't so bad if that's all they want. Like they got what they wanted, but then again, it became an ideology born out of activism, and they had to move the goalpost. So I am not entirely surprised there are women in Japan who reject feminism because it's no longer. It's like BLM. It's no longer about women having rights. It's about victimhood and just being a victim and changing stuff to make themselves feel better. And it's not like we only have these weirdos in the West. You have them in Japan, too. The only difference is Japan, they ignore the fuckers. We platform them for some reason. And we take these dumbasses seriously. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Like, I think it's probably because, like, culturally Japan is different in that... Like, Japan has issues. Like, they have enough issues to fill a Playboy magazine, for all I know. Like, I remember one time... I think Anita actually talked about this. It's one of the few things she talked about that she didn't sound like a stupid bitch about. She was talking about how there were these women being molested in trains. Now they have separate trains for men and women. Gender segregation, and I can see that coming to my side of the ocean. I can just see it. So they have issues, but they do have certain things they teach their kids growing up. One is respect, especially what came before. Or just respect in general. Like I think that kind of goes back to because that's been a thing for them for I don't know how long. Like, they've had this weird thing about respect since I think the days of the samurai. Like, some things about them have changed. Like, the samurai were fucked up. Like, you should hear the stuff they did in World War II. So Japan has issues, but they have certain values that I would say, yeah, they're not so bad. And feminism collides with it. What was I going to... Anyway, the point is, these fuckers preach about imperialism being evil, but then they have no problem. They have no umbrage with taking stuff from the East and injecting their bullshit into it, whether it be politics or just stuff in culture they want to force into Japan, which they can't do right now. They're trying to. Like, they're trying to move that. The problem is they don't like gaiju over there. Or white leftists in China. That's one of the only things I like about China is that even they hate white leftists. But, yeah, I remember the one thing that was used as an example of this recently was when Raging Golden Eagle was doing his video, he was responding to an article by buying into comics. Now, what happened was it was a story thing about a boy who just dresses like a woman and looks girlish, like a reverse trap. And they instead made it to where it was, oh no, this is a transformer, a tranny. Probably shouldn't be using that word, but fuck it. And yeah, it's not just that. Like, they tried to insert Gamergay into anime. And they've attacked, like, these leftist nutjobs have attacked anime in the past. Like, they've said there's an alarming correlation between fascism and manga. And most of us were like, no, there fucking isn't, you dumbass. Like, this is beta male bullshit is all this is. To borrow from, what's his name, Young Rippa. It's beta male bullshit, that's all this is. And yeah, if any leftists who do this can hear me, you are hypocrites. You are fucking hypocrites of the highest order. And I hope one day Japan finds a way to screw you over in the worst possible ways. Because again, I don't like Japan, mostly because of their porn, but I do not like y'all a lot more. Actually, no, I like Japan because at least their comics are readable. Same with France. They have readable comics. Our comics are so unreadable, I would sooner use them for toilet paper. And I think maybe that's all I wanted to say. Let me think. Yeah, no, that's about it. I probably should have taken some time to think about what I was going to say, but you know what? Fuck it. I really just wanted to get this one off my chest. And now I gotta sneeze. It's just stupid. It is asinine that this has to even be a thing. Just because it does not meet Western politically correct sense of fucking abilities, these people think they have a right to fuck with stuff we love. And again, I think Japan has been pushing back against this in certain respects, and I hope they continue to push back. I hope they one day walk up and punch these people's lights out because they are bullies, nothing more. And we all know a bully eventually stops when you knock their teeth out. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. Like, this is why, like, I see stuff like that. Like, if it wasn't just bad enough that they ruined the stuff we read in the West, they had to then ruin stuff in these, because at least we could escape and find fun in the stuff that is in the East, like manhwa and manga, or bande dessinée in France. At least we had that to go back to, and they won't even let us have that. Like, these are cultural Marxists. Like, I remember Razorfist did a video or a stream where he brought this up once, where there was actually a Marxist, I believe from Britain. I think he was disappointed how the revolution wasn't happening in Britain, and he said, we need to force politics into everything. This is why they want to force into our hobbies, because they want you miserable like they are, because they're that pathetic. They are so pathetic. They need to make other people miserable. You know what they say, misery loves company. Well, you know what I say? Fuck off. This is why I'm glad people are making their own content now. Because we've seen these companies have no spine. Either that or they agree with this BS. And so yeah, make your own stuff. Aspire to replace them because they've gone too long without competition, I guess. And that's where I think I'll end it. Have a nice day, and remember the game was rigged from the start. And pray for sanity.